You and me, quietly drifting in the open breeze. Suddenly, the wind blows you away from me. Now I see we were never meant to be. Born from the same branch and leaves, wild and free, living here in harmony. Don't you see? This is where you want to
April 15th, 1912, the RSM Titanic sank into the icy waters, killing over 1,500 people, all walks of life, races, and from all over the world. But who I am going to tell you about today is a couple from Huntington, West Virginia that was just trying to get home. We're at Vinson School today because the streets Eloise and Lucian and Hughes are all related to the people in today's story, and so is Vinson School. The last name Vinson is Eloise's family's name on her mom's side. Eloise Hughes was born in Huntington on August 7th, 1893. She was the first child of James Anthony Hughes and Belle Vinson. She grew up beautiful and dark-haired. Eventually she met and fell in love with Lucian Philip Smith, a graduate of West Virginia University and son of a wealthy family with coal interests. They met in January and wed in February, just a month later in 1912. The family celebrated the event at the Central Christian Church in Huntington in a glittering style befitting of their social status. Newspaper accounts described the bride's white satin gown trimmed in lace with a veil and orange blossoms. The bridal party scattered pink rosebuds along her path, and Eloise's sister Tudelle served as a maid of honor. Lucian's brother James stood by him as best man. In the fashion of the time, the couple departed in an extended honeymoon trip around the world. They boarded the RMS Olympic luxury liner to tour Italy, France, and Egypt. By April, the newlyweds decided to return early to West Virginia. She had mentioned that they were a little homesick. They were just ready to cut it short, and also, she was pregnant. They booked a passage on the maiden voyage of the largest luxury liner of its day, and on April 10th, they boarded the RMS Titanic.
In a half mile, turn left.
So that's not music I'm playing, that's actually a bell here at the cemetery in Huntington, and we're looking for Eloise, the Titanic survivor. It's just an enormous cemetery, but we have a vague idea. That one's sinking in there. And we know she's in 22, which is supposed to be this area.
There's a Smith.
Oh yeah?
22.
So you're looking for Vincent. I think I should have brought some water.
inside lines. I'll check these too. You check the outside.
So this is her family. Her mom's maiden name. These are Vincent's here. Taylor, Betty Jane, Z Taylor, Lynn Vincent, Samuel Vincent,
Looks like a concrete thing right in front of it. Concrete. Yeah, concrete thing. Right here. Vincent's on it.
So we're getting into Hughes. Here she is.
Okay. Yep.
Eloise Hughes Smith, 1893-1940. That's her mom. Belle Vincent Hughes, 1868-1951. And this is her sister Tudell Van Saint, 1895-1975. It's quite a fancy name.
Van Zandt.
Tudell Van Sant.
Yeah.
And this is her dad, 1861.
On April 14th, Eloise slept in her cabin as her husband James played bridge with 3 shipyard acquaintances. Near midnight, a noise woke Eloise. She quickly settled back to sleep. She woke again when her husband Lucian turned on the cabin lights and urged her to rise quickly, dress warmly, and go to the deck. No calls for alarm, he assured her. The ship had hit an iceberg, and just as a matter of form, the captain wanted all ladies on deck. Many passengers did not realize how dire their situation until the Titanic launched distress rockets and officers began loading women and children into lifeboats. Several women refused to part from their husbands and had to be forced to go. Lucian reassured Eloise that it was just casual, cautious practice for women and children to board the boats, that the ship was fully equipped for the situation and all would be safe. She joined Lifeboat 6 along with Margaret Brown, later known as the unsinkable Molly Brown. Regulations in that area required the ship to carry only 16 lifeboats, but the Titanic exceeded that standard by having 20. Fully loaded, the boats could have carried up to 20 passengers and crew aboard. Survivors stated that most of the lifeboats have pulled away with only half of their capacity. Reports tallied 710 people saved, and an estimated 1,514 passengers and crew perished. Eloise survived. Her husband Lucian did not. She delivered her son, Lucian Philip Smith II, on November 29, 1912. In a twist of fate, she ended up marrying another Titanic survivor, Robert W. Daniel, in 1914, but this didn't last. They divorced in 1923. She married again, this time to Captain Lewis H. Court of Huntington in 1923. He died in 1927. Her fourth husband was C.S. Wright of Charleston in 1929. They wound up getting a divorce. Eloise returned to Huntington and her first married surname of Smith. She became active in politics and was considered a gifted speaker. In May 1940, at the age of 46, Eloise Hughes Smith died of a heart attack.
Well, I can see why. 4 divorces, 2 of them ending in death.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I should probably add that Lucian was one of the unfortunate ones to not only die in the Titanic, but he was lost at sea. His body was never recovered. And Eloise is starting her life with Lucian. You know, they had a baby and she had to give birth to it alone without him. I just can't imagine how horrible this was for everybody involved. But this is where Eloise lies peacefully between her mother and father and her sister. And at the end of it all, to have a loving family, I guess you can't ask for much more.
No, you can't. You can't. Woman saw a lot. She saw a lot of death, a lot of tragedy. It's just unimaginable to believe, you know, the sinking of the Titanic, and you lose your husband, and then again.
Yeah. So thank you for coming along with us in another one of our wild and wacky adventures.
Yeah.
And thank you for your support. We couldn't do this without you. It wouldn't be much fun making videos to nobody. So
Yeah.
either way, I'm sorry for laughing again. We have a hard time not laughing. We definitely feel empathy for every single person we do a video on. We put blood, sweat, and tears in these videos. We spend money to make the videos, and we care about the people, or we wouldn't be doing this. So
Yeah.
we just, sometimes you can't just walk around like your dog just died. Sometimes you have to laugh. You're still here, you're still alive. You have to do what you can to keep yourself sane.
Yeah, and Eloise's story deserves to be told. Her story deserves to be told.
So out of Huntington, West Virginia, Hillbillies out.
Yeah. Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Y'all have a great day.